Welcome to my review and tips for the RNS315 GPS radio system. So first I'm going to turn it on and give you an overview of the buttons. These are the radio seek and fast forward buttons, and as a tip you can use these in any screen. So for example, if you're looking at the navigation menu, you can still change the radio station using these buttons. The CD slot, the eject information button. Now the first button is the band button. Now there are 12 presets in the FM and AM band, and if you go to here you can turn off the presets so that this button will always go to the station list. One thing I like about the RNS315 is this fast scroll feature. So if you put your finger here, you can quickly scroll along anywhere in this red menu bar. Now going to the AM station, pretty much the same thing, 12 presets. Now the Sirius radio has 18 presets, so I guess this is a magic circle where instead of going to 12 it goes to 18. And options, you can again turn presets on and off. Go to channel list, manual tune. So if I go to channel list, for example, turning the scroll knob will let me see all the various channels. And again, you can do a fast scroll using this red scroll bar. Here's some categories. You can look at the categories. Change the band again to the full channel list, FM, AM. I'm going to turn the presets back on. If you press the media button, it will take you to the media menu. The first option is CD, which is a single CD slot up here. If you press list, it will show the individual tracks that are in this single CD slot. Now if your CD has track information, it will show, instead of track 1, 2, 3, etc., it will show the track names and any other data. I can hit either this contextual button or touch the touchscreen there. And plus 10 bonus points if you can figure out what music I'm playing during this demonstration. Then CD changer. Now the CD changer is not part of the RNS315. The OEM Volkswagen CD changer that works with this was already built into my car, so that's something extra. Select CD. Here you can select between the CD 1, 2, and 3, or 4, 5, and 6, which are empty slots. You can change the CD. So there it will change the CD to the next one, the same basic idea. And if I go to SD card, select that. Here you can see the SD card menu, which is this slot right here. Here you can see the various folders and individual MP3s that are not in a folder. If you wish to go to any specific folder, what you can do is just select it and scroll, either using this scroll knob, or if you have a really long list, again, you can use this red scroll knob. Play up, so this will go up in any particular menu, and again you can either use the touchscreen or this contextual button. The next button is aux, which is this 3.5mm jack. If you have the Volkswagen Multimedia Device Interface or MDI adapter for iPod or other such device, it will show up in this menu. So if you don't have the CD changer, it won't show up, but if you have the MDI, which is mostly standard, then it will show up in this menu. The last option is Bluetooth. So if you have the phone module with 8.2DP capability and a compatible telephone, you can play your music from your phone through the radio with this option, so Bluetooth streaming audio. The last button on this side is the phone button. Now I don't have any kind of Bluetooth module on this car, so all it does is mute the stereo, but if you did have the Bluetooth module, it will show the address book, last calls, etc., and the telephone keypad, and it will let you make phone calls. This is the SD card slot, which you can load music through or insert the new maps. The first button on this side is the nav button, so let's take a look at some of the functions here. The first time you press it, it shows the input screen or the map. So let's go look at the input screen. In this input screen, you can go to address, intersection, last destinations, address book, point of interest, and home address. So if you select address, you can input your destination here. Let's say 46. And for street name, you can either use the scroll knob or the touch screen. So let's say Emmanuel Church Road. Okay. Emma Baker Way. Okay, that's fine. Prince Place. Sure. Start.
The route is being calculated.
You can also choose intersection, last destinations, address book, so any saved addresses, point of interest. One strange quirk about the RNS 315 is that it only displays these limited point of interest categories. However, the map database does contain lots of other different categories. So, for example, if I hit search, now parks was not displayed in the point of interest category, but if I enter a local park name, it does show, for example, medicine, there's the park, shopping center. So again, these point of interest are all in the database, even though it won't let you select those categories. So these are the only categories it will display. There might be a trick to displaying other point of interest categories, but if there is, then I don't know it. From this view, you can select north at direction of travel, 3D mode, or north in north. You can also select
the destination is in the displayed
the
direction.
Views here, route overview, stop navigation. I'm not going to do that yet. And I've already input a destination, so let's go for a test drive. Now, briefly went into...
Continue following the road for a quarter of a mile.
Briefly went into night mode since I just passed under a...
Turn
bridge.
left at the end of the road.
Here it displays the turn distance and the road name. Now, I'm going to turn right at the upcoming road.
Turn left now.
Just to show you what it's going to do.
Turn left at the end of the road, then turn left and continue following the US1.
And there we go, it has reprogrammed
Turn
an
left
alternate
now, then turn left.
Now from any nav screen, if you hit setup, it will bring you to the navigation options. So here you can select route options, navigation prompts volume,
route guidance, route guidance, route guidance, route guidance, route guidance, route guidance.
Day-night mode, display point of interest on map, auto zoom, speed limit information, all these other things. You can adjust the radio settings through pressing tone, and here you can adjust the volume for the radio settings. Now, as a tip, a lot of people think you have to go to this menu, navigation volume, to adjust
route guidance, route guidance, route guidance,
the volume of the navigation. But as a shortcut, what you can do is just press the scroll button down and then turn the volume knob. So press it.
The destination is in the displayed direction.
And you'll see a blue volume knob. That blue volume knob
the destination is in the displayed
adjusts
direction.
the volume of the navigation system. If you don't press this knob, if you just turn the radio knob as normal, you'll see a red scroll bar, and this adjusts the radio volume. Or go to System to adjust these options. So keypad display, you can change that from ABC to QWERTY, screen brightness, day-night mode, confirmation tone. Or when you're in the radio, you can also select a different setup menu for deleting presets, Sirius ID, arrow keys, etc. So those are some of the navigation features of the RNS 315. Here's a quick list of the pros and cons. The first one is street price. The street price for the 315 is about $1,000 less than the 510, the next step up. Now the 510 does have the larger touchscreen, internal hard drive, high resolution display with DVD capability, and it also has HD radio. Now you have to question if all that is worth the price, and for some people it may not be, because if you just want to step up from a handheld GPS system, this one works fine. The advantage over a handheld GPS system is that the integration in the car is much greater. So as shown earlier, you will see the turn and instructions over here, and you will also see it on the instrument cluster display if your car is so equipped. Once you have an integrated GPS system in the car, you'll find you'll use it much more often than a portable system. One way which I oftentimes use it is using it to figure out the estimated time of arrival and adjusting my driving speed to get there on time and not too early. So one of the disadvantages is this 315 does not have HD radio, even though the standard Premium 8 radio does have HD radio. The 510 GPS system also has HD radio. Now the difference in FM is definitely noticeable, but when you listen to AM HD radio, it's like night and day. There's no static, it's very clear, it's amazing. Starting in late 2012, the standard Premium 8 radio will start to get the phone functions, so one of the advantages of getting a 315 is no longer as prominent. The best thing about the RNS 315 is the interface. This scroll knob and these two contextual buttons, which usually have a touchscreen equivalent, make using the head unit much easier than the standard Premium 8 radio or the 510 GPS. And the reason why is because having a physical button is much easier to use than the touchscreen scroll bars that you have to use in the 510 and GPS or radio. In my opinion, having these physical buttons makes using this head unit much safer, especially when driving, because it minimizes head downtime. When you're driving, your full attention should always be on safe driving and not managing any kind of radio or GPS. My only complaints about functionality of the RNS 315 is no finger panning. So in the RNS 510 GPS, you can use your finger to pan the map. There's also that quirk about the point of interest categories, where it will only show these limited point of interest categories. I don't know why, it's just one strange quirk. So, thank you for watching my RNS 315 GPS review, and feel free to check out my other YouTube videos.